Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to the Warsaw Family Amphitheater here at Temple Bat Yahm, where it is wonderful to be out here on a warm evening as the sun is setting and as we gather to welcome the day of rest, the holiest day of each week, a day of joy, our Shabbat. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and welcome here to Temple Bat Yahm. Whether you are a regular or if this is your first time, I know we have a lot of people who've come in for this Shabbat to celebrate Josh becoming a bar mitzvah. And I want to just see by a show of hands if you're here especially for Josh's bar mitzvah. We have a few. Fantastic. I also know a lot of people are here because there's a chef on the loose. Chef Alon Shaya is with us, and we'll be hearing some words from him during the service, and those who are staying for dinner will get to sample some of his recipes, which will be just wonderful. And to get us ready for all of that, we're going to join together in this service welcoming Shabbat, and as we do so, we begin by welcoming members of Josh's family who are going to lead the candle lighting, reading, and blessing. I'm pleased to call upon Heather, Marlene, Casey, Alexis, and Emma Ignatin, Colleen and Olivia Harkey, Nancy, Becca, and Katie City. And we welcome the folks online as well. Hope you're staying safe and sound there and enjoying the service as well. It's great to see you all.
Heather's going to be the leader, and we're going to read these two English paragraphs together.
Ready? Just that right there? Yeah, these two starting with that. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom.
A little Shabbos hug. And we turn now to page 138 as we welcome Shabbat as the mystics of Tzfat did hundreds of years ago on the beautiful mountain where, as the sun was setting, they would welcome Shabbat as the beloved, the Chadodi, page 138, and we're doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. on page 146, let's remain standing for the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer. Please be seated. On page 150, let's join together in Ahavat Olam, thanking God for the gift of Torah and its wisdom. We rise for the Shema, page 152.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please be seated. While the Exodus happened at one time in history and is celebrated each year during Pesach, Passover, we include a remembrance of the freedom that we experienced leaving Egypt when we joined together in the words our ancestors sang, Mi Chamocha, page 158.
כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. And on page 160 at the middle of the page, let's join together in the English of Hashkivenu. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkah shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. וביום השביעי
שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם
ברית עולם.
Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. In that spirit, we rise on page 164 for the central prayer, the Tefillah.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה 168 אתה גיבור לעם אדוני מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל נכלכל חיים בחסד נחיה הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ברופא חולים ומתיר אסירים ומקיים אמונתו לשני יפה מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך מלך עמית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Let's take a few moments of silent reflection and prayer as we meditate in these beautiful outdoors, and then conclude by joining together for a prayer of peace. We've now reached the time in our service where we turn our thoughts and prayers to those in need of healing. It's on page 382. 382. And as usual, we think of those who are awaiting diagnoses, recovering from surgery, awaiting surgery, those undergoing treatments, struggling with mental illness, addiction, and infertility. But this Shabbat, we're also mindful that while we'd like to think COVID is over, COVID is still with us, and there are still people getting sick and dying. Over 300 per day. So we think of them also and all of those who continue to strive to end this pandemic once and for all. So page 382, our prayer for healing.
רפאנו אדוני ונרפא, הושיענו וניוושע, אל קרוב לכל קרוב, אך קרוב ליראיו ישור. אל נא רפאנה, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, רפואה שלמה, רפואה שלמה. הושיע את עמך וברך את נחלתך, ורעם ונשאם עד העולם. מי שברך אבותינו, מי שברך אמותינו, אנא אדוני הושיענה. אל נא רפאנה, רפואת הנפש, רפואת הגוף, רפואה שלמה, רפואה
Heal us now.
שלמה,
Oh, heal us now.
שלמה.
I especially want to send best wishes for surgery on Monday to Grandpa of Nolan and Sadie. Hope it all goes real well. We turn now to our Kiddush, and I'm pleased to call upon Yoshua ben Yitzchak Va'ora. That's you, Josh. Come on up. And Josh is going to lead us in the Kiddush here. And with the congregation, please rise.
Ooh, nice. See that okay?
The seventh day is consecrated to the Lord our God. With wine, our symbol of joy, we celebrate this day in its holiness. We give thanks for all our blessings, for life and health, for work and rest, for home and love and friendship. On Shabbat, eternal sign of creation, we remember that we are created in the divine image. We therefore raise the cup in thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu V'Shabbat Kodesho, B'ava Uratzon, Hin Hilanu, Zikro Lama'aseh V'Reishit, Ki Hu Yom Tehila L'Mikra Kodesh, Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu V'Harta, V'Otanu Kidashta, Mikol Ha'amim, V'Shat Kodecha, V'Ahava Uvratzon, Hinchaltanu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim.
Mazel tov.
Excellent, Joshie. We'll be getting you in the High Holy Day Choir soon.
Beautiful voice.
Great job. You want to keep that? Drink it all up. Why not? Please be seated.
You'll have the good stuff at your wedding.
There's a Talmudic dictum that says, Im ein kemach ein Torah, ve'im ein Torah ein kemach. Without, literally, wheat, that can make bread, sustenance in general. Without bread or sustenance, you can have no Torah, no study, no wisdom. And without Torah, the same thing applies. You can't have the sustenance of wheat and bread and food in general. While normally at this moment in the service, I would share words of Torah, instead we're going to hear words of kemach, of wheat, of sustenance, from someone who loves food, and that is Chef Alon Shaya. He loves cooking it, he loves being around it, learning about it, teaching it to others. He was born in a place that's named after this synagogue, suburb of Tel Aviv known as Bat Yahm. You can Google it. He was raised in Philadelphia on cheesesteaks. I'm sure they were kosher. And he is proud to call New Orleans his home. He's always had a deep love and appreciation for food and the singular way restaurants anchor their communities. Together with his wife, they created and founded Pomegranate Hospitality, which includes Saba in New Orleans, Safta in Denver. So one is for the grandpas and one is for the grandmas, in case you missed that. And both Miss River and Chandelier Bar at the Four Seasons Hotel in New Orleans. A multiple James Beard Foundation Award winner, he was named Best Chef South in 2015, and his restaurant won Best New Restaurant the following year. He was named one of the 50 people who are changing the South by Southern Living, and one of the 50 most influential Jews in America by The Forward. He's the author of Shaya, an Odyssey of Food, My Journey Back to Israel, part memoir, part cookbook. In the book, he shares deeply personal journey of survival and discovery, exploring the evolution of a cuisine and the transformative power and magic of food and cooking. During the pandemic, Alon Shaya partnered with the Holocaust survivor Stephen Fenves and the U.S. Holocaust Museum to recreate recipes from Stephen's family, thought to be lost following the Shoah. Together they worked to bring the tastes of Stephen's childhood to life, flavors he had not had for over 70 years. So we're delighted to invite Chef Alon Shaya to come down here to the bima and share some words of kemach And you may notice that he is wearing an N95 mask because he's very sensible, since in just a few days he is scheduled to be on the Today Show. Am I right?
Yeah, it was the Yesterday Show, but I got upgraded to the Today Show.
Excellent. So we want to make sure that you pass their COVID
Yes.
test and get to speak online.
Yes. Thank you so much, Rabbi, and thank you all so much for having me here. I find this to be such a beautiful, beautiful shul. It's so nice to be outside, and thank you for giving the pita bread credit. You know, without the pita bread, none of us could be praying right now. So we have a wood-burning oven out there in the parking lot in which I've been making pita bread for tonight's dinner. You should have seen me schlepping that thing through TSA. I got some crazy looks. But I was born in Bat Yahm, and, you know, I grew up, I immigrated to America with my family when I was 4. And so Judaism, to me, was always something that was complicated. It was something that I didn't quite know where to pull from. Do I pull from Israel? Do I pull from Philadelphia, where I was growing up? And how do I make Judaism work for me when I loved Philly cheesesteaks so much? And so I learned over time that, you know, for me, celebrating my Judaism was most genuinely done through my cooking and through my food. And I've always used food not just for my religious purposes, but just in life as a pathway. When the storms come and create debris, food always helped me kind of find that pathway forward. And it really helped me identify with myself about who I am. And so that's why it was so exciting to get a chance to work with Stephen Fenves, who survived Auschwitz. And him and I on June 11th are going to be doing a dinner together where we're going to be cooking recipes from his family cookbook. And he was removed from his home forcibly by Hungarian troops with his family when he was 13 years old, and sent off to the ghettos prior to going to Auschwitz. And as he was being removed from his home, there was a line of people out the door that were waiting to enter the home and steal and loot and take all their belongings, the family's belongings. One of the people that were in line was a woman named Marish, who worked for the Fenves family as the cook. And she knew what their most important family heirlooms were. One of those being the family cookbook, the Fenves family cookbook. And she took the book and kept it safe. And when Stephen and his sister survived Auschwitz, she was able to return the cookbook to him. And he held it close as a family heirloom his entire life, and eventually donated it to the United States Holocaust Museum in D.C. So there I was in the basement of the museum looking through all these culinary artifacts. Because I'm a chef, as you can see, I like to dress as one. And when I was at the museum, they said, hey, would you like to check out some of the recipes, some of the things that we rescued from concentration camps, things that people have donated over time? And I did, and when I found the Fenves family cookbook and found out that Stephen was still alive and worked regularly at the museum, I reached out to him and we struck a friendship. And now I get to cook his recipes that he grew up eating up till the age of 13. And I get to cook those recipes and serve that to him and talk to him about the memories of life pre-war. And one thing that Stephen said to me that really I found to be very interesting was that, you know, he spent his whole life as a Holocaust survivor talking about the war and talking about the aftermath and the horrors that happened during the war. But he never gets a chance to talk about life before the war that much in front of a public audience. And so through food, we're able to talk about life when he was happy, life before everything got destroyed. And that to him is very special, and it's very special to me as well. So I've used food my whole life to make these moments a reality and to become vulnerable and open myself up to moments like this when I get to learn and I get to make friends that I wouldn't normally have a chance to make. So I hope that tonight, through food, that some of you all can also become my friends, and that I get to spend this beautiful time here with all of you in your shul and get to know you all better. And that to me is very special. So thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to serving you dinner tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And since nothing happens by coincidence, we have Chef Alon Shaya joining us during the counting of the Omer, which is a period during which our ancient ancestors would count the barley harvest, not the wheat harvest, but the barley harvest, that would be so abundant. We would pray during this late spring and heading into the summer. And so during these 7 weeks, we count from Pesach through Shavuot, so that we count the barley, but so that we remember to count each day and make sure that each day counts. You can find the counting of the Omer on page 570. And would the congregation please rise? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer. Hayom 28 yom, shehem 4 shavuot la'omer. Tonight begins the 28th day of the Omer, which is 4 weeks of the Omer. We're making our way there. And let's remain standing as we turn to the Aleinu on page 586. I'm pleased to call Gary and Joel Ignatin to come up as we open the Ark, page 586.
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה יוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת זו בגופי מרומים, ואלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשחווים ומורדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Shabbat
Shalom.
And let's remain standing as we turn to page 598 for Kaddish Yatom, the mourners. Kaddish. This Shabbat, we're in the Shiva mourning period for Sheila Phillips, and the Shloshim for Francis Katz. This Shabbat marks the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the deaths of Norman Abba, Leela Barron, Harry L. Bierman, Arlette Belkin, Regina Blum, Irving Gold, Zelda Goldstein, William Goldstein, Zisha Hecker, Lawrence Henry, Magda Hertzberger, Nathan Caden, Samuel L. Clevat, Trudy Latchow, Jack Lazarus, Stephen Merkatz, George Polman, Dorothy Pontak, Vera Ross, Leah Rothenberg, Maxine Rothenberg, Mildred Sackley, Joseph Sedaka, Vitali Sedaka, Judah Sassoon, Bernard Selkin, Kevin Sherman, Sammy Siegel, Shlomo Sonnenschein, Nathan Zuckerman, Abraham Tarnowski, Nettie Vigman, Seymour Vigman, Chaya Vinokurova, and Alexander Wasserman. We also think of those who've died as a result of baseless hatred here, and especially in the state of Israel where terrorism is on the rise. And those, of course, who've died from COVID. We're on the precipice of 1 million deaths here in the United States. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for an abiding blessing, page 598. Together, Yitgadal v'Yitkadash Shmei Rabbah, Ba'alma divrach chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, B'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, amen.
Amen.
Please be seated, all except our president, Mr. David Udis, who has some words of welcome and some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's wonderful to see you all here. Thank you for joining us in person, on Zoom, on Facebook, or streaming from our website, or even if you're joining us just by a mind link. We're happy that you're here. Thanks to our clergy, Rabbi Zilberman, and our cantor duo, Powerhouse. Thank you, Cantor Waltzman and Cantor Grant, and Paul Zuhl, and our TBY team for helping to make tonight happen. And thank you again to our special guest, Chef Alon Shaya, for joining us tonight. If you are going to dinner, please go straight to the main hall via the Schuster Courtyard at the front of the temple. If you're not staying for dinner, we invite you to take a challah on your way out. This weekend, Torah study is online only at 9 a.m. with Rabbi Zilberman. Josh Ignaton, son of Gary and Heather Ignaton, will become a bar mitzvah when he will be called to the Torah tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. in the Sonnenschein Family Sanctuary. Mazel tov in advance. You did great tonight, especially with the drink, and that was very good too. JCal is in session at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Jewish Movie Night will be screening Little Traitor on Sunday at 6:45 p.m. in the main hall. Admission is $2 at the door. Coming up, Adult Ed Wednesday nights is off this week, but we look forward to returning on the 25th online. And this one's important. You'll see it in the pamphlet. There's a little blue box there. The annual congregation meeting will be held exclusively on Zoom Wednesday, May 25th at 7 p.m. I'm going to call just a couple people up really quick just to stand. Where's Adrian Cohen? I know you're out there, Adrian. There's Adrian Cohen. And stay standing, Adrian. Adrian, and where is Matt Cabrera? I saw Matt as well. Matt. There's Matt Cabrera. And where is Andy Levine? Andy Levine. So these people, as well as a number of others on our next Board of Trustees, cannot be confirmed unless you make sure you have returned your proxy form or have completed your proxy online or are showing up at our Zoom meeting. Again, that's Wednesday, May 25th. But if you're not coming, that's okay. Please get your proxy into us by Wednesday, May 18th. Otherwise, we can't have a next Board of Trustees, and that would be a problem for these folks, for myself, for the rabbi and the cantors, and the entire temple. Right? That could be.
That could continue as president.
That could be.
Just in case there's confusion, Adrian is about to be the president.
That's right.
Which will make you the immediate past president,
That's
which
true.
I understand is one of the best titles
The best.
to have in a congregation.
I am told that the salary goes up by double.
Yes. And then Matt Cabrera is next in line, and Andy Levine. So we've got, it's extraordinary, the lay leadership that we have here that has lined up succession so many years in
Great
advance.
leadership upcoming. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Please send your proxies in. We would appreciate that. It's almost membership renewal time. You can expect your renewal information to roll out soon. If you have questions about membership, please contact Sue Penn. Where's Sue Penn? Sue Penn here?
Could be in the
Sue
hall.
Penn could be in the hall already. Sue Penn, please see Sue Penn if you have any questions. There are a lot more programs and events happening at TBY, but I know we're all excited for dinner tonight, so I invite you to check out the website if you'd like to see more.
time.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thanks, David.
As David's heading back to his seat, I just shout a couple of birthday shout-outs. Roz Klein, happy birthday to Roz, and Jillian Katz.
Jillian.
Happy birthday. There she is. Friends, this is a challenging time in history, so it's appropriate for us to join together in a prayer for our country. Page 376. Please rise. At the foot of the page, let's join together. 376. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. And on the facing page, Israel's also going through a challenging time just after celebrating its 74th birthday. On the facing page, page 377, Avinu Shabashamayim Tzu Yisrael V'Goalo. Together, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. And our closing song, page 627, is no coincidence either, right, Cantor
Correct.
Grant? You want to tell us a little bit about this
The words
melody?
of Shalom Aleichem is a traditional Shabbat table song. It is sung when you arrive home to a beautifully set table, just as we will momentarily. We sing the word Shalom Aleichem, and Israel Goldfarb was actually an American composer, and this is one American setting that is sung throughout the world. Isn't that nice?
And Aaron Copeland was his
627.
student.
And Aaron Copeland was his student. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty cool.
You heard it here first.
Fantastic.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Milech Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeittechem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh
have reached that kemach time, that time for wheat, for bread. There's challah here. If you're staying for dinner, you're going to get freshly made pitot for your Shabbat challah. And those who are heading home, you can pick up a challah on your way out on the left here. And those who are already at home can lift up your challah or your baby, Nolan. And we're going to thank God for bringing forth bread from the earth, saying,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon.
B'tei avon, good Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.